Good evening, excuse me, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Fontana, California, where tonight it is foggy for the Auto Club 140 at California Motor Speedway, Auto Club Motor Speedway, or whatever you prefer to be calling it by. We are here for 70 laps around this 2-mile track, and to get us kicked off here, we're going to talk to Race Control. We're going to talk to Matt over in Race Control briefly and find out about these weather conditions, because this is going to play a major factor. This was quite a surprise for the guys once they got on track tonight. Hey, Matt, you with me? Matt may have stepped away for a minute. We'll give him a second. He should be back. In the meantime, as I said, this is the Auto Club 140. We are looking at 70 laps, 2 stages, 25 laps, and in the first stage, 45 laps in the second stage on this 2-mile track. These drivers will be running around the 2-mile Auto Club Speedway, 14-degree turns, 11-degree front straightaway, and 3-degree back straightaway. Fast, multi-line track. They are going to be side by side, running multiple lanes, and they are going to be going fast. Getting close to speeds of 200 miles an hour throughout the race, going down these straightaways. It will get a little bit tight occasionally, but it will be exciting. Let's see if we've got Race Control with us. Hey, Matt, with Race Control, you got me?
I do.
So it's foggy tonight in Fontana.
Very foggy. We don't get to race in these conditions very often, so it's always a treat.
Are the drivers feeling a little nervous about it, or are they excited about it?
I would say there's a mixture between both. I mean, obviously your sight is going to be reduced, but I think these guys are up to it.
They definitely have shown us this week or in weeks past that they are, as we're watching qualifying come to the end, and we'll have you with us most of the race, I do believe, so we'll be talking to you more as it goes on.
Definitely, I'll be real easy to be accessed.
Hey, thanks, Matt. All right, as we line up for the green flag, let's go take a look at our starting order. We've got Craig Janzik on the front row taking the pole with Trey Whitehead. Robert Lawrence and Brian Lorenzo in second row. Michael Potter, Caleb Forsyth, James Harris, Jay Colt, Kyle Spees, Richard Fornshell, James Carroll, round out the top 11. Then you have John Fix, Russ Kilgore, Garth Snyder, Steve Pless are the top 15. John Thacker, Brandon Ball, Stephen Clegg, Gary Lynch, Eli Childs back there in 20th, Jonathan Diamond, Daniel Starner, Sheldon Pearson, Brian Rowell. They're going to round out your 24 drivers that are on the grid right now. Plus we have Robert Wynn and Robert Wynn Jr. Look like they're starting at the back tonight. And it will be a little bit tricky to see these cars, folks, but this is not the stream. This is not the camera. This is fog in Fontana. We've got a track temperature of 112, but the air temperature is down around 70-80 degrees, so it will make it a little difficult. That's why we've got Matt in the booth all night long tonight. He is going to be helping us out with what's going on the track and helping us get around, giving us a little bit of a hand with this. We will do our best to bring you some views, and one view we're definitely going to be utilizing tonight. We're going to be utilizing the in-car camera. We'll be using the chase camera, the far chase, the rear chase especially. Our usual TV cameras, we'll be using those as well, but probably lean on some of these other cameras a little bit more often. That's just going to make it a little bit more exciting. As these guys are lining up on the grid, again, we are doing 2 stages tonight. 25 laps in the first stage, 45 laps in the second stage. They have a full fuel load tonight, and they have 5 total sets of tires, 4 extra in addition to the one that's on there right now. Quick glance at the points this week. After some big shakeups last week, we're looking at James Carroll, James Harris, Craig Janzik, Robert Wynn, and Russ Kilgore are the top 5 in points currently. And the top 9 places, first through 9th place, separated by just 15 points. So they get points for a stage win, they get points for leading the most laps. So tonight, with the way this track works, they're going to have some, they're going to be battling for some points, but Craig Janzik sitting up there on the pole, he definitely has the advantage. Let's see, James Carroll and James Harris. Harris is starting in 7th. James Carroll starting in 11th. Robert Wynn is way in the back, and Russ Kilgore, he is starting in 13th place. So hopefully he gets the lucky 13 tonight. As we come around, this leader's going to be taking the green, I do believe, this time. Again, this is a 2-mile track. There's a little bit of banking, but it's not a lot, but they are flying around this track tonight. We will see speeds approaching 200 miles an hour as they dive off into turn 1, and close to 190 diving into turn 3 as we see the level of fog, and they are coming to the green. Pace car is in. Craig Janzik's going to take the green flag right about now. There they go. They are off. Lap 1 of 70. They are gone. Craig Janzik trying to get a lead. They are going to have visibility issues, and from what I'm told, especially down in the corner. So this will be interesting to watch these first few laps to see how these guys sort out. But they are not giving up as we see 3 wide back there towards the back. They are going to try and get position early. Try to get to the front. That way they don't have to worry about the other vehicles. We see it looks like they almost bump drafting down the back straightaway. As we dive off into turn 3 and 4, it looks like Craig is going to lead this first lap, but Trey Whitehead is right on his tail. Trey goes to the outside already. Craig drops down low as he leads the first lap. And we've got Trey already up there battling. And while they're battling, Robert Lawrence, he's charging up there trying to take another position. He's going to follow around the inside, drafting. Oh, the 52 gets loose, spins on coming out of 2. Caution is out. Does not look like he collects anybody else. Caution on lap 2. Looked like Trey just got loose coming through the turn. Couldn't hold it. Craig's going to maintain the lead as we come down to the caution, or as we come down to the start-finish line, and they go looking for the pace car. So we watch Robert Lawrence come around here. And there we see Craig, and it looks like he might have a new paint job. He's got some of that chrome on the car now. Well, we're talking about different paint jobs. Would like to note that next week they are doing a patriotic paint. They're doing patriotic paint schemes for Veterans Day next. So they'll be running those paint schemes next Thursday. I've seen some of those already. We're going to have some back to blue paint jobs. We're going to have a lot of guys are driving paint jobs reminiscent. A lot of these guys are veterans, and we even have a few active duty like Jay Culp, active duty Marine. A lot of these guys are going to be running their particular branches paint, and a few of these guys are running American flag style paint. So it's all going to be different patriotic stuff. They're all working together to get some great paint jobs going. While we're under caution, let's see if maybe we can see this overhead view, and our helicopter up there still has some visibility issues, but there's what it looks like when you're looking back through the field. As we see the Green Mountain Grills, got to thank that sponsor once again. Without that sponsor, we wouldn't be here doing this right now. So big shout out to Green Mountain Grills tonight. Let's see if we can get the in-car. You can see here on the in-car on Craig, as long as you're close to somebody, you're good to go. But as we move back through the field, and we get back here, we're in 11th, and it's a little bit tricky to see Craig up there at the front. Now, you can still see him, but as they're going 200 miles an hour, that's going to be a little bit harder on these guys. So we will definitely be utilizing this view tonight. I'm looking forward to that. And we will also be here running this, we'll be utilizing this chase cam and this far chase to see some action. Like we saw earlier from the helicopter, it's a little bit difficult, and we are hoping that the sim is accurate enough that the weather does impact the track. The weather does impact how the engines run, and we're hoping that the engines and the heat off the engines are going to help burn some of this off. The tires, the heat, we're going to hope that it burns some of this off. Let's talk to Matt real quick and see what he's hearing. He's listening into the driver chat. Hey, Matt, you still with me?
I am.
So you're listening into driver chat. How are they feeling after that first couple of laps?
They're fighting with their vision. They're trying their best to check up. Like if you look at Eli, the 13 when the 52 spun out and went down the track, he had nowhere to go. He didn't see it, and that's going to be the big thing about today's race is that you're not going to be able to see that truck spinning. So today's going to fall more under luck for these guys, I think.
Hopefully, so that some of this fog will burn off. I'll let you get back to managing it. We are 1 lap to green.
Yes, sir.
All right, we are 1 lap to green, as we just said, coming through 1 and 2. And like he said, there is the fog, and that is one issue. But the other issue they run into here, folks, is aero push. And that is when one car gets in front of the other car, or one truck in this instance, and it takes the air off the nose. They need that air on the nose to provide downforce and help those trucks steer. Now, going down the straightaways, that's great not having any air on the nose. They're going to love that because then they're going faster. As we learned from Days of Thunder, you get it tucked in behind, you're only using 90% of your power, if that, and you're still going the same speed. You've got power in reserve. You can swing out and slingshot by. As Ricky Bobby would say, slingshot engaged. But if you get down there into those turns and you don't have anything on the nose, the truck starts to try and slide out to the wall. You got to get out of that gas a little bit more. So what you'll see a lot of times going through these turns, especially these guys that are further in the back, is they're going to try and keep the left side down as low as they can and get air over that left side. The way these bodies are designed, air on the left side will help push the whole front end down. Air on the right side will help push down just the right side, but they're used to turning left, so air on the left side always helps. Craig gets a big jump on this restart. We are green flag racing, lap 6. As we see Craig get that big lead back down into turn 1. Robert Lawrence still in second place. Caleb Forsyth up to third from started 6th. Brian Lorenzo, 4th place. Kyle Spees, 5th. He started in 9th. He is on the move. And the next caution, we'll talk a little bit about Kyle. We got some bio info on him this week as well. I'm looking forward to talking a little bit more about Kyle. As they come around to complete lap 6, still green flag racing, and as Matt said, a lot more luck will be included tonight. We'll start working our way back through the field, watching some of these guys as we see them 3 wide on the front straightaway. 44 at James Harris just storming past everybody. Looks like he slipped back a little bit in that caution, but is managing to work his way back up. He is, of course, running the series sponsor paint job, the Green Mountain Grill. So if you're looking for a new grill, definitely go check out Green Mountain Grills. Go check it out tonight. Go check it out under caution. Go check them out and order yourself a new grill. As we come down, we're going to complete the 7th lap. Going into lap 8, we are still clean and green. And now we should start seeing the field spread out just a little bit. This big, wide 2-mile track is unrestricted. Unlike Daytona and Talladega, the 2 bigger tracks, this is unrestricted. Not as high banking, but some of the speeds get just as close as we're starting to see a battle for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place up here. Robert Lawrence, Caleb Forsyth, Kyle Spees, they are running 3, and looks like they're going for 4 wide up here. As we see the number 90, Richard Fornshell, he's back up there in the mix as well. And you know Craig is looking in his rearview mirror, and what he can see, he is liking. Because as long as they're running too wide, they are having to slow down through the turns, and he can check out. As I said earlier, they do have 4 additional sets of tires tonight as we watch them running side by side, and the 90 Richard Fornshell's looking to take an opportunity here. Looks like the 34 got hung up to the outside. They drift up to the wall. That is the foul. The 1 car, Kyle Spees, got a little bit loose coming off 4. He is pushing hard. He is going to the outside. He's looking for the lead going into turn 1 and 2. Looks like he's got that high line. He'll definitely carry the momentum. The faster line is around the bottom, apex the corner, and then shoot off to the outside wall. Craig Janzik's going to protect that low line, but Kyle Spees does not care. He's going to make the move on the outside. We saw him get outside of Craig on the front straightaway coming off turn 4, and the 34 is looking low. We expected to see him spread out. This does not look very spread out, guys. We're 4 laps into the run. And they are running for, we have a 4-car race for first place, 5-car race now. Craig just barely holds on to it, but the 34 is looking like he might have a little something for Craig tonight. We'll work through our camera views here, and oh, look at that 34 getting side by side with the 1. Craig's just, and James Harris takes advantage of all this battling. So we focus in on Craig here. Right behind him there is James Harris in that 44 Green Mountain Grills truck, already up to 2nd, started 7th position. Diving to the inside, going through 1 and 2. He's got the low line. He will have the advantage. We saw Craig hold everybody off to the outside. Oh, they get close. Craig's going to try the crossover move. He gets back down to the inside. He is inside the 44. As they come down the backstretch, Craig is back to the inside. He is not giving up that easy. As we're starting to see 2 distinctive packs break off back there towards the back, and the 44 is way up by the wall. And we are back running about an 8-car battle up here. At any point in time, one of these trucks will just come shooting to the front, as the 44 James Harris did. And we'll take a look from the helicopter. You can see them going side by side. They are battling this out hard, and they are swapping positions every lap. Everybody's changing positions except the man at the front, Craig Janzik. And it looks, folks, like we might actually be burning some of that fog off just a little bit. Let's see if we can get in somebody's car here. We are inside Robert Lawrence's car as he tries to get under Kyle Spees in that number 1 butt kicker car. And he dives to the inside, and you look, you cannot see turn 3 until you're about halfway down the back straightaway, but you can see palm trees. And it looks like the Robert Lawrence car that we're riding along with, he is got an advantage over James Harris. And no, he does not. Tucks in line behind the 44. And we'll go back to our regular view for now. Hopefully, it looks like we're starting to see some of these cameras clear up a little bit. Some of this fog is... Oh, Kyle Spees gets loose coming through turn 2. Caution is out. And did I see the 34 of Craig Janzik rubbing the wall there? I think Craig might have just had a little love tap on the wall. See if we can find a little bit better view of his truck. Did see some sparks as he went by. Looks like he might have grazed the wall just a hair with that right rear. As we watch them come around, they are 16 laps in. They've had 16 laps, Robert Lawrence and Craig Janzik there at the front. 16 laps, nobody has pitted as of yet. So now the question becomes, at this point, do they go ahead and pit? They know that they're going to have a stage break in about 9 laps. So are we going to see some tire strategy here? Let's tune in and watch. And while we are watching to see, as you see them come through 3 and 4, it looks like some of that's clearing up. Looks like they might have had some sunshine. Yes, it looks like all the leaders are coming down pit road. As we saw Kyle Spees get a little loose coming off the corner and spun, brought the caution out. I want to talk briefly about Kyle. Let's see if we can work our way through the field and find him here in a minute. See if we can figure out where he went first. But while we're talking about Kyle is 26 years old. He's only been on iRacing for 6 months, which is impressive given the runs he's had in this series so far. He is doing great for such little experience. He's born and raised in Illinois. He's a part of the Speed Racing Network. He's got big sponsors, Butt Kicker, CMC Fabrications, Brookstone Animal Hospital. That kid definitely has a future with the sim racing community if he's doing this well after 6 months. Excuse me, he definitely has the respect of his peers and his fellow racers out there. Real good positive attitude from him. I expect to see great things. As we watch Craig Janzik come around, and it looks like everybody in the top 20 has stopped and got 4 fresh tires. The only ones still out, Daniel Starner, Brian Rowell, Robert Wynn Jr., and Trey Whitehead does not look like they have pitted yet. We'll see how that shakes out. We know what Robert Wynn can do on old tires, just like he did at Texas. He'll make those tires run. I'm wondering, I should have asked him before the race if he can go full 70 laps on those tires. This track, it's a little bit hard on tires, not as hard as a high banked one like Texas is, but it is much more aero dependent, as we talked about the aero push and aero loose earlier. Aero loose is when somebody gets too close to your rear bumper, takes that air off your rear spoiler and causes your back end to try and spin around on you. As we are 1-2 green. Pace car coming out of turn 2. We're looking to see where Kyle Spees is currently showing in 3rd place, so he had a good recovery. There he is. Right there on the inside in that number 1 truck. There's Kyle. 26-year-old young man from Illinois. Had a spin, kept it out of the wall. Did not look like he collected anybody. At least not right away, so he's still in pretty good shape. We'll see what he can do with it. And James Harris now restarting in 2nd place. He was definitely fast early on. Pace car is off. Craig is going to lead him down to the green flag. And we are going to watch James as Craig gets a good jump on this restart. Another good jump on Kyle Spees and James Harris. As they drive off into turn 1. And Kyle Spees is already no loss of confidence from that spin. He is right back at it, full throttle, full speed. And they are getting dicey back in the back. Let's go take a look back here. We're running 3 wide between these 3, the 22, the 90, and the 56. Talking about Richard Fornshell in the 90, the 56 of John Thacker, and the 22 of Stephen Clegg. Didn't hear much from Stephen Clegg last week, but here he is. He's already back up in the top 10 and is going to be working his way forward. John Thacker in that number 56 truck. He is currently running 10th, started in 16th position. Stephen Clegg in the 22 started 18th, running 8th. So these guys have moved up quite a bit. These three obviously know how to get around California or Auto Club Speedway. Brian Lorenzo earlier in the day was talking about he was very confident about tonight. I think we're going to expect to see him towards the front before long. This track can be a very fun track or a very frustrating track. It just depends on how your run goes. If you're careful and you save a little bit of tire and get those first few laps in, as they start to spread out, you can start making some moves forward on the guys that used up their tires really early in the run and really start to make up a lot of time. Now, this track has a sister track, Michigan. As we see the number 1 of Kyle Spees, there he goes to the outside of Craig Janzik, already trying to get back to the lead. So far, 22 laps into the race, Craig Janzik has led every single one of them so far. Kyle Spees is about to change that. He is to the outside. Will Craig be able to hold him off this time? Kyle's got to run, but Craig's got the 34 truck behind him helping push. And the 34 drifts back up high. Kyle blocking that high line. Craig drops down to the apron. And as we cross the line, Kyle Spees is our new leader. 4 fresh tires and he is good to go. And he is loving that, but Craig is not done yet. As we saw him do the crossover move on James Harris earlier, he is trying to get that back, but doesn't look like it's going to be close going in there side by side with the 34. They got a little bit close, and we should start being able to see this field is starting to spread out a bit. So we've got the top 4. That is Caleb Forsyth in the number 76 truck. He is up in 4th now. And caution is out. Let's go see if we can find... Caution is out of lap 24. I believe this is our stage break. So now we've got a lot of these guys out here that have changed tires just 8 laps ago. They have only 8 laps on these tires as the 90 is on pit road. Richard Fornshell. Oh, it looks like Richard had got into a little bit of trouble there. Let's go to the replay and see if we can find what happened. Looks like they were coming down the front stretch, and the 56 and the 90, that's part of what we're going to see, and they both hit that inside wall. That's a tough start for both of them. They all have one fast repair. So we'll see if they can get that repaired and get back out on track quickly. And we are seeing, as they are using this caution as a stage break, we are seeing everybody on pit road. Let's see if we can talk to Kyle right quick. Hey Kyle, this is Doug in the booth. You got me?
Yes, sir.
Hey, you had a little trouble earlier, but it looks like you've got a hot rod tonight. How's your race going?
It's going pretty good so far. I started to figure it out there late. Luckily got that stage win. Didn't think I was going to get that guy at the front, but got him there. The truck seems to be running pretty smooth right now. Just worried about tires here at the end.
Well, you definitely had one heck of a run going before and after the spin, so best of luck to you tonight. We'll let you get back to it.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. That was Kyle Spees, the driver of the number 1 truck. As we work our way back, right now we are showing the 88 car. Looks like he might be in the lead, Jay Culp. He did not stop for tires. He's only been on these tires for about 10 laps. There will be a bit of a noticeable difference between the speeds that some of these guys on fresh tires have, and it looks like everybody behind him is on fresh tires. But as I come around to the start-finish line and the scoring catches up to us, we should be showing the 88 leading. Yes, we are. Now we're 1 lap to green. Top 10 is Jay Culp, Stephen Pless, Brian Rowell, James Carroll. James Carroll is our points leader, up in 4th place. Brian Lorenzo, Craig Janzik. Craig Janzik sitting 3rd in points and 6th on the track right now. We've seen him be pretty dominant tonight. Robert Lawrence, Caleb Forsyth, Kyle Spees, and James Harris round out your top 10. As they come out of turn 2, we definitely saw a bit of a point shake-up last week, but will be interesting to see if we have another one after this race. As we watch him pace around, looks like the green flag has been delayed. Yes, the green flag has been delayed for 1 lap. Looks like they're trying to sort out after all the cautions and getting everybody squared away. Looks like we should, if we have any more cautions, we should start seeing some cars getting back to the lead lap, getting some lucky dogs. As I'm showing right now, we have Sheldon Pearson and Russ Kilgore both 1 lap down, as well as Trey Whitehead. John Thacker, Eli Childs, and Robert Fornshell. Robert Fornshell and Eli Childs are both showing 3 laps down, 2 laps down for John Thacker. Lights are off on the pace car again. We will get the 1 to green this time. Next week we will have as I mentioned, we will have the patriotic race at Nashville, the new Nashville track, and that will be a night race, followed by Charlotte, Dover, and the one we're really looking forward to here in about 4 weeks, the trucks at Watkins Glen. That will be exciting, the first road course. We'll get some more details for that next week. But that's definitely going to be an exciting race. Some of these guys are road racers, some are not, and these trucks were definitely not designed for road racing. However, they do have the advantage over the Cup cars and the Xfinities. The Cup cars have more power, as do the Xfinities, but the Xfinities don't have as much downforce, and the lower power and increased downforce on these trucks really makes a difference on a road course. In fact, these trucks at some road courses, like the Charlotte Roval, these trucks can run even with the Cup cars as Jay Culp gets a huge jump coming to green. Lap 29. Jay Culp is in the lead, and he's got a hornet's nest coming behind him. As Stephen Pless, that's sitting there and saying, Stephen's already looking to the outside. Jay Culp dives down low, trying to protect that inside line going into 3. With that 69 truck of Stephen Pless, he is already on the outside. He's already got a bit of a jump. And look who it is down there on the inside. I do believe we are looking at Craig Janzik already up behind the 88 of Jay Culp. Yes, indeed, that is Craig Janzik. Down on the low line, following Jay Culp around. We'll see what happens when they come around to the backstretch. Will they make it 3 wide? How's Craig going to get around him and get back to the lead here? He is on fresher tires. His tires are only 5 laps old compared to 14 of the 2 guys in front of him, and he is looking to the inside going into 3 and 4. Jay Culp drifts up, almost gets into the 7. They both managed to avoid an accident there, and Craig Janzik drifts high coming out of turn 4. As Craig makes a power move to the inside of the 69 truck. Going into turn 1, it will be Craig Janzik back to the lead, and they are 4 wide behind him. Even through this fog and smoke, we are seeing 3 and 4 wide between these guys. Work our way back up to the front. Look at these guys go. That fog is not going to slow them down tonight. As we see the number 7 looking for a way past the 88, we are going to be 3 wide going into turn 1. Normally you'd see these guys starting to spread out, but that just shows you how equal these trucks are and how great these drivers are, that they are all still so close together that they can go 3 and 4 wide coming off of turn 2. We've seen all the problems so far tonight coming off turn 2, and they just don't care. They are going all out all the time. There is no patience, no tire saving, no strategy here. This is straight up going for the win every lap. As we see, the number 21 got passed by Jeff Harris, and we are back under caution. I'm sorry, James Harris. As they check up to go see if we can find who was in an accident. Bring out the caution. Hey, Matt, you got me?
I do.
Who brought that one out?
One would be the 28 and the 90.
10-4, we'll go take a look. It is really handy to have him available. So let's see if we can get a replay. It looks like we're unable to see that replay currently. As we move back up here to the 21, Craig Janzik was back to the lead and lost a couple spots again to James Harris and Kyle Spees. As we're starting to see some of these guys getting their lucky dogs right now. As we heard Matt say, the 90 of Richard Fornshell got together with the 28, and Richard looked like his truck was pretty beat up, so he'll be using his fast repair. Excuse me, if he hasn't already. Do not believe he has. There is the man to beat tonight, Craig Janzik. The two that I was told after their practice last week, the two that were the ones to watch were that number 21 of Craig Janzik and Eli Childs. We have not seen Eli up front yet tonight, but I would not count that man out just yet. They've got 35 laps to go. They're coming one lap shy of halfway, and they've still got quite a ways to go. 35 laps on a 2-mile track, still got 70 miles to go. Again, they all have one fast repair. They started on one set of tires. They had 4 additional sets of tires. And they get a full fuel load. Some leagues will run a reduced fuel load. It increases strategy, but instead they changed up the format a couple weeks ago to only do 2 stages, and that's really played into the strategy. That's really increased the strategy of these drivers, and it's definitely increased the amount of racing we've seen and some crazy stuff since then. Really kind of liking this format that they're getting. Kyle Spees got a bonus for winning the first stage tonight, so that'll definitely help him in the points. He was leading the points just a couple weeks ago, but missed out. I believe it was last week he missed and lost some points by missing that race, so he is definitely trying to get those points made back up. As we watch the Green Mountain Grills truck of James Harris. Coming down, James will take the lead, take the green flag, and hopefully he will get another big jump, put that Green Mountain Grills truck out front, put on a good show for the league sponsor. We're really glad to have them on board. As they come down, we should see that pace car duck down pit road just like that, and James will control the restart, and he does. He's already got a jump on these guys. He can't get far enough to get away from the draft yet, but hopefully he gets through 1 and 2 and gets himself a little bit of a lead. He's going back up to the high side so he can get the good line down into 1. And it looks like James is preferring that middle line tonight, which opens up that low line for Kyle Spees. Kyle can't quite get to the inside. Looks like he's up on the quarter panel, but Craig Janzik, and you see him bouncing around. That back straightaway is a bit bumpy, especially out there by the wall. And there goes Craig Janzik to the inside of the 44, James Harris. Craig moves back up into second position. Back down to the apron as they head down into 1 and 2. He is going to the high side. Which way is Craig going to go? And does he have something for the young man from Illinois? Kyle Spees leading the race right now. Coming down the backstretch, they're sitting there single file for about the first 5 spots back. But further back in the field, they are not single file. We'll start working our way back through the field. Oh! Craig Janzik gets a little loose coming off for the 44, James Harris. Looking to take advantage, goes to the high side. Craig comes back up high. James ducks low, crossover. Can he make it work going through 1 and 2? Hold it down low, James. But Craig is on the attack on the outside. He's looking for an outside line to James, or on Kyle Spees. Craig's getting it. Now he's going to the low side. What a move by Craig Janzik. He is down on the inside, turns 3 and 4. He wants that lead back, and he wants those points for leading the most laps as they come down the front straightaway. Craig Janzik is trying to get the lead. Well, he has it coming across the start-finish line. He's got a push from James Harris. And we've got one truck going to looking to the outside of Kyle Spees. It's the 34, Robert Lawrence. Robert Lawrence is trying to find a way get past on the outside. James Harris is still back there fighting, and while these 4 guys are fighting, battling for first place, right behind them there is a whole swarm of trucks coming at them. They are closing the distance every lap. Normally you'd see at a track like this, they start running away from each other, start spreading out. Not tonight. We are seeing a lot of action. Craig gets down low without getting loose this time, no problem. And as they go down into turn 1, the 1-car truck of Kyle Spees is trying to hold that low line. He's doing a little bit of blocking. He's got the 2 trucks behind him, can't get them all, and they are looking to the outside and inside, 3 wide coming off turn 2. We got Craig Janzik, Kyle Spees, and James Harris is on the outside. Looks like James Harris jumps to the lead coming through into 3, but Craig Janzik's got that low line. Will he get the run off of 3? The 44 has the push from the 1. They are up there on the high side. They do have the momentum, and the 44 gets the lead. As the 44 holds the lead going through 1 and 2, but Kyle Spees looking a little bit below him. And it looks like James got quite a run coming off of turn 2. They couldn't get past him, but you see him bouncing down that back straightaway. Kyle Speed uses the draft, catches right back up to the 44. And as I said, while they're sitting here battling, here comes another pack of them led by Jonathan Diamond in that 39 truck, the Oreo truck, but he's got the 17 on the high side, the 84 on the low side, and he's got one way up there on the outside trying to make something happen. The 17 of Brandon Ball's in there. You've got Michael Potter in that 84 truck. But that 39, Jonathan Diamond, he is trying to chase down the leader. He does not want to battle these guys behind him. He wants to get back up there in the front pack and battle up there. As we see, they are all back to being single file up front. James Harris, Kyle Spees, Craig Janzik, Robert Lawrence. They are nose to tail, but they are not battling. They are trying to get some kind of lead going. And they appear to have one about 0.8 of a second between Robert Lawrence and Jonathan Diamond. As they come back off turn 2 down the back straightaway, we've got 28 laps to go. These are 42-second laps. They are faster than they seem a little bit slow in the truck, but they are fast when you're watching them out here. Michael Potter in that 84 truck. The 52 of Trey Whitehead, he was in trouble a little bit earlier, way towards the back. Already moved his way back up to 7th. He qualified 2nd, but like I said, I think he got caught up early on. Way back there in the back, has already worked his way back up there, and continues to do so. We've got Caleb Forsyth, the number 76 truck there, coming down the back straightaway as well. He's been up there in the top 10 battling all night. And the 88 of Jay Culp, we saw him up front leading after that last caution. And I would imagine if we don't see another caution soon, we might start seeing some green flag pit stops, as we've got a truck to the inside of Jay Culp. It's the number 7, James Carroll. Points leader, James Carroll, is ducking to the inside, trying to look for a way past the 88. He definitely wants to get back up there to the front. Because the points leader, James Carroll, is the second place points is James Harris, and James is running in 3rd right now. As we see the number 22 there is Stephen Clegg. He's up in 11th, started 18th. He's been up in the top 10 tonight, and he fought his way back up to the front early on in the race. I imagine we're going to see more of him before the night's out up at the front. We've got the 73, Brian Lorenzo. He was in an incident earlier as well. Happened right in front of him. He managed to get through, and here he comes, battling his way back to the front. the 17 there to the inside. That is Brandon Ball. He seems to be slipping back a little bit. And we've got the 35. Daniel Starner in the 35 truck. Started 22nd up to 14th. Still trying to pick up some positions there on the outside through 3 and 4. As we go through the field, we see the 68 truck and the 89. 89, Robert Wynn Jr. 2 spots back from Jr., we find Dad in the number 16, Robert Wynn. They are on the same tire strategy as everybody else right now, but we know both of these drivers, father and son, can save tires. They are in the same house. They do communicate. They work together. So we'll see if we've seen them work together in the past, and Dad got the win in Texas. And we'll see if one of them can get back up front as we see a power move by the 84, Michael Potter. But let's go look at the man on the move. The 39 of Jonathan Diamond. He closed the gap up to that lead pack. He is now running in 4th place. And he is trying to get past the 44 of James Harris. Looks like he's going to do it going through 3 and 4. He's got the low line. If he can get a little bit of space to drift up and carry his momentum out to the wall, he will be golden. He is. He will cross the line in 3rd place, and he's going to continue moving up. Jonathan Diamond in that 39 Oreo truck. Jonathan started in 21st and is already up in 3rd place, trying to chase down Kyle Spees. We've talked about Kyle and Craig all night. Craig is back up in the lead, but now they have to worry because it was just 5 or 6 laps ago. Jonathan Diamond was almost 2 seconds behind Craig Janzik. Now he is just 0.8 of a second back, and he is just right on the tail. Oh! He just moved into 2nd. That 39 of Jonathan Diamond just moved into 2nd place. He is going to chase Craig Janzik down. Only 0.8 of a second back, and that is shrinking quickly. We're down to 0.7 already. With 21 laps to go, if they even bother with another pit stop, it'll be the last one, so we might be seeing the battle for the lead momentarily. And it may very well be the battle for the win. Now that they've had a chance, they've had a lot of green flag laps. From 1st to 10th place is 5 seconds. The field is starting to spread out now. Tire wear, aerodynamics, everything is playing a part in this. And definitely got to give a shout out to all 25 of the trucks on track tonight. Doing a great job in the foggy conditions. Looks like that's the 34. 34 is pitted for tires. Let's see who else is pitted. We're definitely starting to see some green flag pit stops. Robert Lawrence in the 34. Brandon Ball is pitted. Stephen Pless, John Thacker, Russ Kilgore. All have pitted. James Carroll is on pit road. Brian Rowell is on pit road. Some of these gentlemen have been out there for 26 laps, and this will come as no shock to anybody. Robert Wynn Jr. has been out there for 51 laps, according to our information. Dad's only been out for 26. 19 laps to go. I don't know that they could go that full distance on their tank of fuel. It'll be a full 70 laps on one tank. I don't know that they can make it, but they could. At least the Wynn family seems to be able to make it work on fuel, or on tires, excuse me. However, Craig Janzik, as soon as Jonathan Diamond moved into 2nd place, it looks like Craig Janzik's on pit road. As we see, the 13 is on pit road. The 90. We're starting to see a lot of green flag pit stops. There's Craig Janzik coming down pit road. Looks like Jonathan Diamond is coming down pit road. James Harris, Stephen Clegg, Daniel Starner. We've got a bunch of them on pit road. And the number one, Kyle Spees, looks like he got a little damage, possibly on pit road, trying to get woed up onto pit road. Let's see if James Harris has some matching. James Harris has a little damage on the back bumper. As we see Kyle Spees starting to pull back out. He's got 4 fresh Goodyears. And he's got damage front and rear. Looks like there's been a little beating and banging at 190 miles an hour tonight. That damage might actually help Kyle just a little bit. We'll have to wait and see if that helps him get through these turns a little faster. That rear spoiler being a little higher up in the air is probably going to help his downforce just a little bit. And we are showing Jonathan Diamond currently in the lead, but scoring is going to have to update. So we'll go find Jonathan here. There is Jonathan in that 39 truck. And he is chasing down Craig Janzik again. Jonathan is still being showed in the lead. Craig Janzik has pitted for tires. With 16 laps to go, it is going to get interesting here. Looks like everybody that was in the top 10 is now pitted for tires, and the top 10 cars right now are on 30 lap or older tires. So we will start seeing tire strategy coming into play as we watching the 52 of Trey Whitehead. He's on 3 lap old tires, running almost 7/10 of a lap faster than Jonathan Diamond at the front on older tires. There's Jonathan, still leading, but he's got a 1 6/10 second lead over James Harris, Stephen Clegg, Caleb Forsyth, Robert Wynn. Robert Wynn on 31 lap old tires. That is nothing for Robert Wynn. If he can win at Texas on 60 plus lap old tires, I would say he's still got something for these guys. And while we see Jonathan Diamond there, we've got the number one, Kyle Spees, on fresh tires, making a pass. He's trying to get his lap back. He's currently being shown in 14th position. 1 lap down due to the pit stop. If Jonathan Diamond manages to hold on to the lead, does not pit, two and a half seconds, looks like about 2 seconds to 2.5 seconds per lap difference that these fresh tires are faster. It'll be interesting to see if they can catch up in the next 13 laps. Jonathan's careful, he can go the distance, and he should still be able to pull off a win here, as he's got a 1 second lead over James Harris. James Harris has got tires the same lap 33 laps ago. And we've got this big pack coming up on him. All these gentlemen coming around now, getting past the 39, they are all on fresh tires. They are all trying to get around, get a whole lap back. None of those were for position or for first place, though. They are all a lap down to that man there, Jonathan Diamond. But there is somebody running for position just over a second back. Is James Harris in second place in that 44 Green Mountain Grills truck. We move back to Stephen Clegg, 2.1, 2.2 seconds back in third place. And how far back do we have to go to find Robert Wynn? 5 seconds back in that 16 truck. 16 truck of Robert Wynn. He is still out, same tire cycle. In 4th place, but he is 6 seconds back. And some of these guys on the older tires are definitely wanting this thing to stay green. And some of these guys, and all of these guys that just pitted and just got fresh tires, they definitely want to see a caution so they can get caught back up and be in the catbird seat when it restarts. All right, now everybody's getting spread out. They're all trying to chase down the 39 of Jonathan Diamond. And let's take a look real quick. See if we can find where is our points leader. James Carroll back in 15th place. He is 38 seconds back from the leader. And James Harris, second in points, running second on the track currently. Craig Janzik is third in points, running in 10th currently. Robert Wynn, 4th in points, but he is sitting in 4th on the track. Could be a big points night for James Harris and Robert Wynn. Russ Kilgore, 5th in points. Currently in 25th position, 28 laps down. As we watch, with 10 laps to go, they're coming to 9 to go. Jonathan wants this to stay green, and he wants James Harris to slow down a bit. But James Harris, the last couple laps, has closed that gap a little bit. Just under a second between. James must have had some problems. Oh, I'm sorry. Stephen Clegg moved into second. Stephen Clegg in the 18. And I have not sure where he's at on the track. He is currently showing 1/10 behind. Sorry, Stephen Clegg is the 22 truck. My mistake. Stephen Clegg is making the move for the lead currently. Jonathan Diamond down on the inside. Stephen Clegg to the outside. They are battling for it. They pitted on the same lap 38 laps ago, so they are battling at the same level of tires. It's going to be who has the most left, who's managed to conserve the most, and right now it looks like Stephen Clegg has conserved the most tires for this final run. At the end of this run, he is in the lead, looking a little wiggly coming off turn 4. Not dropping all the way down to the inside. They're staying off of that apron, trying to save as much tire as they possibly can. Jonathan Diamond moves back to second. James Harris is in third, almost 3 seconds back. Robert Wynn is in fourth, 3 seconds back. Gary Lynch has moved up to 5th place, 3 seconds back. John Fix, 4 seconds back. And I do believe Robert Wynn Jr. finally might be coming to pit road. We'll have to go take a look at him here in a moment, but it would be about time. With 7 laps to go. Robert Lawrence is in 8th. Craig Janzik has moved up to 9th place. 6 laps to go. That is the man at the front now. The 22 of Stephen Clegg. Jonathan Diamond is just hoping for a miracle to get back to the front. And look who is in 3rd place. Robert Wynn, the winner at Texas by stretching that tire strategy to the max. It would not surprise me to find out he had blown his tires while he was doing burnouts, except if memory serves, he ran out of gas trying to do burnouts. He's driving that, he's getting a little wiggly off turn 4 as well in that number 16 Metallica truck. As we are coming, we are at 5 to go. And it does not look like any of the guys on front, the The furthest person on fresh tires is Robert Lawrence, currently running in 8th position. His tires are only 12 laps old. Robert Wynn Jr. did not pit. Craig Janzik, I'm sorry, he's in 8th. There's a 68 of Gary Lynch. He is in 4th place. He is working his way to the front. John Fix, haven't talked about him much at all tonight. But here he is in the body armor, number 9 truck, running in 5th position. James Harris in the number 44 Green Mountain Grills truck. He is in 6th currently. Number 72 of Garth Snyder, currently running in 20th. Looks like Robert Wynn Jr. might have had a little problem loading his paint tonight. He is in 7th place currently. And there is Craig Janzik, the man who has led the most laps tonight, currently in 8th place. 15 laps on his tires. He is trying to make something happen, but with 3 to go, he is 18 seconds back. At number 39 of Jonathan Diamond is back in 4th place now. Gary Lynch is up to 3rd. And in 2nd place, 2 3/10 seconds back, is Robert Wynn. Are we going to be talking to him post-race again? It's looking that way. He is gaining half a second a lap on Stephen Clegg. We're coming down to 2 to go. Stephen Clegg has a 2.3 second lead, but every lap, Robert Wynn is consistently gaining 0.2 to half a second every lap. Will he have enough time with 2 laps to go? I don't think he can close the distance, but we will find out momentarily. As we move up and watch Stephen Clegg, he is going to come around and take the white flag here in just a moment. Does not look like he is going to have any difficulty. Robert Wynn is down under 2 seconds now. Stephen Clegg just has to have one more good clean lap as we get the white flag. 1 lap to go as Stephen Clegg leads him around. The race is official now that the leader has taken the white flag. There will be no green-white checkered. This is it. Stephen Clegg saved tires for 45 laps, as did Robert Wynn. Robert Wynn's tire saving just keeps paying off for that gentleman. But it is Stephen Clegg coming down the back straightaway. He's opened up his lead again to 2.5 seconds. Going through 3 and 4 is Stephen Clegg in the lead, 2.5 second lead. Robert Wynn cannot close the gap. Heck of a run by Robert Wynn tonight. But the man taking the checkered flag tonight is Stephen Clegg. Stephen started in 18th place, and through tire strategy and smart driving, he has won the Auto Club 140 here at Fontana, California in the fog. That was one heck of a race by that man. We will see if we can get a hold of Mr. Clegg. As the 44 of James Harris gives him a little love tap. Stephen Clegg, this is Doug up in the booth. You got me?
How we doing?
Well, I'm not doing as good as you are tonight. Congratulations, sir.
I'm getting a push right now. I'm out of fuel.
I wondered how far you guys could go, and I guess it's about 46.5 laps.
Yeah, I ran out at the end of turn 4, and I just coasted to it. I was saving fuel the whole time.
Holy crap, that is one close call. You had a coming into turn 3, you managed to get a little bit of a lead. Robert Wynn was actually closing, was within 2 seconds. Coming out of 4, you actually got a half a second through 3 and 4.
Yeah, when it didn't say I was out of fuel yet, I just went for it, figuring I could at least coast to the win. And I was definitely watching the relative on that one.
Well, you definitely you went the distance on the tires. Was that part of your strategy to have one good long run, or it just kind of happened?
It just kind of happened that way. I was looking at my fuel, and it looked like I was good, and I just went with it.
That was one heck of a race, one heck of a come. You started in 18th, and I know you've been working up. You'd been made your way up to the top 10, and it looks like strategy paid off for tonight.
Yeah, it sure did.
And it looks like you're getting some help with your burnouts as well.
Yeah, they're trying. I appreciate it.
All right, man. I'll let you get back to celebrating. Congratulations. That was one heck of a win.
All right, thank you very much.
All right, that was
Thanks, Potter.
that was Stephen Clegg getting some help from the league. And that's how great these guys are. They're all working together to make sure he got to at least celebrate a little bit of this win tonight. That was one heck of a finish, and he definitely got some help from the league. As I said, they had to push him all the way around to the front stretch. Got some help with his celebration donuts there, and one heck of a finish. We had Robert Wynn finish second, Gary Lynch third, John Fix fourth, James Harris fifth. James Harris might move up in the points tonight. And then we've got Jonathan Diamond sixth, Robert Wynn, and Craig Janzik, who led most of the laps tonight, I do believe. He finishes in 8th place with Michael Potter, Trey Whitehead, Robert Lawrence, Brian Lorenzo, Kyle Speed was battling early. He's back. He finished 13th. Jay Culp and James Carroll rounds out your top 15. That's going to definitely shake up the points. James Harris finished 5th. James Carroll finished 15th. Craig Janzik finished right in the middle there in 8th place. And Robert Wynn finishes 2nd. And let's see, Russ Kilgore finished 25th tonight. Rough night for him. That'll be a rough night for his points as well, but he is still in it. Nothing is over yet. And that'll be it for us at PTM Racing TV tonight. Thank you for tuning in to the Auto Club 140 here at Fontana. I want to thank Green Mountain Grills for sponsoring the league and putting on this great race. Thank all the admins for the league for putting this together, and look forward to seeing everybody next week when they do the patriotic celebration for Veterans Day at Nashville Night. So tune in next Thursday, 8 Central, 9 Eastern. Definitely tune in. Give that race a watch. That will definitely be exciting. That is a difficult track, but it is a lot of fun. These guys will have a heck of a good race that next Thursday. So for everybody at PTM Racing, Green Mountain Grills Truck Series, thank